Hey y'all, I want to talk about the Tale of Onogoro. I hope I'm saying that correctly, which is a VR game. So I've never played a game quite like this so far before in VR. I'm being thrown into an anime world, so if you like your anime, if you want to hang out with cute anime waifu girl for like a game, then this might be for you. It's basically a puzzle solution game. So you kind of show up in this area. You're in, Japan fantasy setting. So if you're in that kind of stuff, which I do enjoy, you would like the setting of this game. The characters you interact with, they're all in that like 3D anime look. And it's kind of weird because it's the first time that I was walking around as a character in like a 3D kind of anime environment. I was like, how is this gonna kind of work as a full game in VR? It's not quite like other chat platforms and stuff we've all done before. So it was interesting to see how this would work. It's basically a companion sort of game. You're with this girl that you meet at the beginning, and you're kind of with her throughout the most of the game. And you have to help her out because she's chained to this rock basically, and like half her body's all messed up and things like that. And over time you find ways to kind of heal her up, and you use her to open doors and things that for you. So she's got like magic powers. That's kind of the gist. She's got magic powers. You know how to manipulate magic because you have guns. It's basically like 2 magic guns. And you can absorb magic from stones and then use that magic to like open doors or take away blocks and things of that sort. And of course they have magic based around the elements like fire and earth, that sort of thing. And because she's attached to a rock though, she can't move on her own. So it's up to you to move her as you're moving yourself around. So it's kind of funny sometimes because she does like to talk and give you backstory. And she could be like talking to you, and you can pick her up in the middle of her talking, and she just like hops up on top of the rock like she's riding it like a little scooter or something, and she'll be just chatting away as you're just like dragging her behind you, and you're just moving her in midair with like your magic gun and just place her where you need her to go. And then the only thing I had struggled with sometimes too is I still haven't quite grasped how to tell her to do something, because every once in a while there's a moment she's like, oh, you sure you want me to do this rock thing now? In terms of like, have you looked at everything you want to look at in the area? Do you want me to do this? And sometimes like acknowledging like, yes, I want you to activate this. I still haven't quite figured out like what's the right button combo or way I'm supposed to do that. I've tried looking at the menu and I still couldn't quite figure it out. Sometimes you gotta be careful. There's moments where something happens and you might have to save her and you have to do it quick, because that happened to me once and I was not ready, and then there she went off to another dimension. So just a warning there. You are kind of in these small sandbox areas, so it's like you're in a big whole area, but you'll get to a point where it's like, oh, you have to go through this gate, and then once you get through this gate, the game's gonna level load like the next section. But if you turn around, you can still see the section you came from, you just can't go back there. So it's kind of cool. It keeps you still fully immersed as you're going in these little small sections within the bigger world as you're traversing through. It still feels like it's all connected, even though it's loading up into different areas. And then as you get through different areas, it is treated kind of like levels, and you get like scores and stuff based on how well you do, and you get like a status on like, oh, this is how you did in this section, and things of that sort. So it has a little bit of that Japanese arcadey feel to it also. The voice acting is interesting so far. I've only met like one other character besides the main girl. I had one boss fight, which was really interesting, trying to figure out how to make that work. And, you're kind of moving around all over the place. The boss I fought was kind of more of a flying type. So it was my first time kind of fighting something flying in midair in VR. And I'm like turning all around. And also I have to keep track of her at the same time, because, she's a little bit like Ashley, from Resident Evil 4. You don't want her to get hit too much. So you're trying to save her. So sometimes you got one hand trying to move her around, while you're using the other hand to shoot this other thing that's flying around. And sometimes it's a lot going on, and you just have to kind of take a few minutes to kind of learn what you need to do. So it's one of those like intense games where a lot of things could be happening. Though I have had a lot of fun playing this, and I'm definitely gonna keep playing more of it. It's a good length game too. I've only completed like the first like main area, and there's a good 3 or 4 other like main big sections that I have to go through. So you're gonna be playing this game for a while. This is one that's in for the long haul. It's not like a quick couple hour thing. So just keep that in mind, but it's definitely worth your time if you're looking for like an anime action puzzle sort of experience in VR and haven't experienced it yet. This is definitely one that is worth trying out for sure.